Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mohammad Shafayet 3 SACJ. I'm under the supervision of Dr. Norizam bin Katmun on my final year project. So, for my final year project, the first proposal that I want to submit is Mobile World, a merge of web application and an inventory system. Here we can see that first of all, for the problem background and solution, I impose that. The problem that arises that Raju Commercial Complex is well known as the shopping complex for stationery, clothing, and mobile sector in Uttara Dhaka, Bangladesh. The majority of the customers are like mobile department, and there are around more than 50 mobile stores in the level 5, and one of the most popular mobile shop is Mobile World. Currently, they obtain two outlets. The customers visit shops and search for the mobile accessory and also mobile accessories. Sometimes they get the accessory that they want, and sometimes they are having trouble to finding out the accessories they want for themselves. Firstly, for the mobile world, they didn't had any monthly recording system, but now they have managed to make a recording system by notebook. So they monitor the daily and monthly sales on that notebook. Prioritizing the customer's need, they all want to improve the service and go to the next level and make an approach online based. Okay, there is another problem that in Bangladesh the delivery system is not quite developed. So that's why they doesn't want to engage with the delivery system, but they all want to engage with the customers to know their pre-orders. So for their solution, they need an inventory system to track their sales items as well as the attendance of the staff, and they also need an online based web applications to attract more customers, to get to know their demands as well as receive advance payment from the customers as in pre-orders. Okay, and we can merge the web application and inventory system to make a hybrid system where they can get to know the demands of the customer by pre-order as well as proper management of their product and sales and stuff. So for the objectives that we see here, first of all, the objective is making a proper inventory system for the user to keep track of their items in the shop. So what are the shop has, what are the elements that shop has, what are the products they contain, and they will have the inventory system to track them. And if there is any popularity on any item or product, then they can order definitely if there is a demand proper for that, so they can add on their shop. Keeping track of the daily and monthly sales as well as profit of the shop. So uh, all the systems for their selling and profits, they all will be in the based on the online system, so they can keep track of them. And making pre-order for the customer to ensure customer connectivity and the products stockpile. So if any customers want some product that doesn't mobile accessories that this shop doesn't have, they can pre-order it. If the shop is eligible to make it, then they will make it. If they're not, they will decline it, no problem. For the scope, we can see the targeted user of our application will be the owner of the mobile world and the staffs as well as the customers that they buy from the mobile world. The system is mainly about a web-based application merged with an inventory system for the shopkeeper to organize their products and customers interaction. Okay, and the application can only be used by the registered user in the system. So actually, if anyone wants to use the system, they need to register it first. And the system is a web application that can be run on any platform. For the project requirements, you can say that the software that we have to need is VS Code, XAMPP, PHP, Git, Google Chrome, and Flutter. Minimum processor that we need is 1.5 gigahertz. Yeah, like this dual core processor, no problem. Memory for our RAM is 2 GB RAM, and display is super vast with VGA with resolution of like HD quality, no problem. And they can also run it by mobile if the processor and the RAM is supportive. Technology and methods. For the technology, we see that it is really highly demandable that we use the waterfall method on this mar, and the product owner or the shopkeeper also want to use the barcode system for their products to track them. And the uh, MBC method can be applied on the coding process. PHP will be used, PHP language, and AI techniques such as will can be implemented to make it more interactive and help the customer as well as the shopkeeper. And there will be a chatbot so for the customer. So that's it for my proposal one. Now I can present you the proposal two. Okay, so this is my proposal two. This is the project title is donation drive for IJAC. The problem background and the problem solution is IJAC is a network of young people and an organization made by youth and for youth. Actually, a huge portion of the food gets wasted every minute. So, and Isaac is running a food donation drive and as well as a fundraising for someone that needs the food or someone in need of money. Currently, they use the third-party website for their fundraising and do not have any proper way to collect the food on the donation drive. During the food collection time, every individual who is assigned the task of collecting food needs to go to door and ask for dry food or money, which is really embarrassing for individuals. It's hard to reach all the people, and adding them to the donation drive is quite impossible physically. And they need an online based web application for fundraising. um, food collection points should be mentioned on the map so the people can drop off the foods on the point to the collectors. Moreover, the donor can request or post extra for their extra foods to be collected by nearby collectors, or volunteers can come to collect the food on the location that the donor wants to. Maybe it's his house or any location that he mentioned. They can do even contactless donation, no problem. So mainly for the IJEC donation drive, I also participated on this donation drive. So they had these problems that I face mainly, and I also talked with many other food collector. They also had the same problem to collecting the food. Now for the objectives of the application is to making a proper fundraising system for the user. So for the Isaac, we will be making a proper fundraising system so they can have their own website for fundraising web application, and making the food collection easy for the volunteers, that whoever comes to volunteer for the food can easily volunteer for the food. And participants of every kinds of people in donating foods to the recipient. Actually, there are many people who doesn't want to waste the food, but they doesn't have any proper way to donating it. So they can drop off the food to the collectors or volunteers, so it helps them to reduce the food wastage, and also he gets the food to the recipient who wants the food. So for the scopes, we can see the targeted users are volunteers, food donor, and the people who want to receive the foods. Okay. The system is mainly a web-based application which has a GPS tracking system to make a good connectivity between the donor and the volunteer. The application can only be used by the user who is already registered, who has been registered on the system, because we need to keep track of their identification and other stuff. The system is a web application that can be run on any browser or platform. So browser platform can any type of browser can run the system. The software requirements for this project we will be needing is the VS Code, XAMPP, PHP, MyAdmin, Git, Google Chrome. That's it. And for the hardware specification, it's the same. Is 1.5 gigahertz, dual octa core processor, and the memory should be 2 GB RAM. Display will be Super VGA with a resolution of 124 versus 768. The methods or the techniques we will be using are waterfall method, um, MVC pattern, PHP, AI techniques, and chatbot. So that's all for my project proposal 2. Thank you for listening.